Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Makalesi, and thank you for looking at my YouTube station. I had an instant request today in regards to the quarantine and why are we in this. And I did make a video originally today in regards to that, but I guess my volume wasn't working correctly, so a lot of people had told me they can't hear me, so I decided to do a retake and basically explain that question, why are we in quarantine? So to understand why we're in quarantine, you got to realize that we are considered the fallen. And what I mean by we being the fallen is we are part of the people who are beings who have fell of the story of what they call the Luciferian rebellion. And I know this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but and a lot of people probably don't like this because I can it's understandable, but basically that's what we are on this evolutionary planet and why Earth as an evolutionary planet was made because it was a place to help the fallen people go into the process of trial and error and evolve into the original state where they came back. It's basically a location where we came to redeem ourselves into our original state. So when you think of the quarantine, realize that it's the people who rebelled in the Luciferian rebellion against the gods, and they had to quarantine them from the rest of the hierarchy. So therefore, they can be quarantined, placed, redeem themselves, and then eventually through trial and error and evolution, and hopefully become back in the good graces of the gods. So now a lot of times when people will wonder, why is life so hard? Why is it so complicated? Why is God so mean to us? And it's not necessarily that we have been being punished. It's basically a way where we can go ahead and correct some of the wrongs that we've done. So therefore, we've been quarantined from the rest of the gods, and this is why we're on this planet, and that's why Earth's here. Now, realize when I say that we're the beings who fell, that's obviously us as, the humans and whatnot, but then that also includes the aliens as well. So aliens are a part of that rebellion, and a lot of times they don't understand how to break quarantine as well, so therefore they don't really tell you about this. But this is basically what this is all about. And there's obviously the people on the surface of the earth, there are beings like us who have fallen, but then there's also beings who fell further than us. And those beings are considered part of the land of the shells, which is connected with the reverse tree of life. And it's really connected to, if you look at the tree of life, the Kabbalah tree of life, there is a cipher there which is called the Ath. It's D-A apostrophe A-T, and sometimes it's D-A apostrophe A-T-H. And Da'ath, if you look at it on the tree, it kind of looks like it's inactive. It's not really as standout as the rest of them. Sometimes the new ones, they leave it out of the tree of life, but it was a part of the original tree of life. And where that principle, that cipher was, is basically where Lucifer originally was, but then eventually was thrown down into the Malakuth level, which is considered Earth. So then, therefore, when you look at the auth principle, it's deactivated or it doesn't look like it's there as much as it used to be. And that is basically in conjunction with the fall. And understand this, you'll understand the tree of life, you'll understand why we're here and why the quarantine's here, and why we had to go into what we call an evolution and make ourselves back into the good graces of the gods. And basically that's what quarantine is about. And it's not really a bad thing, it's just a way that we can redeem ourselves. And we have just been quarantined from the rest of the gods until we be able to redeem ourselves back into our original godlyhood. But to realize this, it wasn't really made to be a punishment. It was a place to redeem ourselves. There are obviously other forces that are into this who obviously do not want us to redeem ourselves, and I like to consider them the Dark Lords. And what they want to do is basically keep us here on this Malakuth level of the Tree of Life and not really progress higher or to original state. So instead of making this a place where we can redeem ourselves through evolution and trial and error, they made this a place where it's really difficult to evolve. And they try to keep us down here. And basically, if you want to say, imprisoned onto this Malkuth level of the tree of life on Earth. And what's happening with 2012, December 21st, 2012, is we're ending the third age, and going into the fourth age, which is really interesting because the Auth, which is the Lucifer principle, is getting reactivated. And when that is getting reactivated, people who understand these principles will be obviously understand some of the information that's coming to light that hasn't been come to light before, and then also can also transcend or leave the quarantine and not be a part of this quarantine or the fall of the Luciferian rebellion that has happened. And basically, that is what this is all about. So that's my quick video about the quarantine, exactly why we are quarantined, how we can escape of it in connection with the new age, understanding the solar energies, and hopefully my mic works better so more people can hear this information. And I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and that's definitely understandable, but that's basically my video, and I'll see you in my next.